So if you watched the last episode last week, you know we had a little camera problem, overheated, which I didn't know was a thing. Anyway, so we got the second half of the footage on here. This will go into the rest of what we did in the galley, and so it picks up from kind of a weird spot, but you know, apologies, bear with us. Kudos to Bobby on Sailing Doodles. He used to do a segment just on maintenance. That was really how I started watching that channel. And frankly, for me, for what I am personally interested in, that's the part I would like to see him do more of. I'm not really all that concerned with what kind of Mai Tais a particular bar has. I don't even drink, so I say I don't drink. Obviously, friends of mine who watch this and be like, wait a second, we've been drinking together. Yes, I used to drink. Recently, one of my brothers made the decision to stop drinking, which I really respect, and it kind of got me in the same mindset. I was like, well, why do I drink? And I like a beer and I like a whiskey, and I thought, yeah, but I don't need any of that stuff. And if I wasn't drinking it, I'd have more money for boat stuff. That's not really why I did it, but I do find that I had been watching Nathan on the 71%. He made a comment about drinking, and I thought his comment about drinking was interesting. The way he kind of put it was like, not like, hey, I was an alcoholic and I had to stop drinking, otherwise my life was going to fall apart, but he said, hey, I made a decision sort of based on health and some other factors that I didn't really need to drink. And then, but as he said, like, oh, if I meet a cool Navy veteran or something, and, he wants to buy me a drink and tell me a story about, whatever, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, something. He said, yeah, I'm going to have a drink with the guy and listen to his story. And I thought, yeah, I kind of like that mentality. It's not that I can't drink. It's just that I don't know, it just doesn't really do me any good. I'm in my 50s now. It's getting harder to lose weight. I noticed as soon as I stopped drinking, I lost 5 pounds immediately, which kind of told me that 5 pounds was really kind of BS weight. It was just, drinking, which makes me snack and do things like that. So I was shoving more food in one end. The body couldn't process it fast enough. So I was literally like pushing 5 pounds of additional stuff through my body that it didn't need. So as soon as I stopped drinking, that 5 pounds just disappeared. And that kind of put me back at, well, that in my mentality, that changed me from, oh my God, I'm so fat, to, oh, I'm fat. So hopefully by the end of the summer, doing boat projects and sweating my rear end off, I'll lose another 5, and that'll put me at, I'm a little fluffy. And then we'll try and knock out another 5 after that, and that'll put me at, this isn't ideal, but I can probably live with it. Those are my stages of acceptance of my body weight, or my body composition. The weight has never bothered me, but the percentage that is fat versus muscle, especially because I spent 30 years in the Army just working out pretty much every day, and I was always in just phenomenally good shape. Even up into my early 40s, I could keep up with all the 18-year-olds. Now in my 50s, I definitely can't. In my 50s, I can't even keep up with most 40-year-olds, and part of that is due to injury, but a big part of that is my own fault for not following through on exercise and things that I know I should be doing. So much so that I'm actually getting ready to buy a bicycle again. I don't know if we have any cycling enthusiasts in our audience, but yeah, I think it's time to get back on the bike. I used to enjoy it. I was never like a big road bike guy. I rode whatever was available when it was available, and because I was in such good shape, I wasn't really concerned about technology, tires, anything. It was just, go out and ride, especially when we lived in Germany. Yeah, I haven't done that in years. So I was on Facebook Marketplace the other day, and I thought, everybody's selling a bike. There's 100 bikes within 5 miles of my house. One of them has to be the right frame size for me. And if I have to put a new cassette on it, or, a new crankset, or pedals, chain, whatever, I don't mind doing that. That's something I can do in my garage and get a bike back, to a pretty decent condition so that I can go out for a ride, which would be nice. All right, so now, do I take the magic Black & Decker coffee maker out? I'm kind of thinking I need to. We talked about this before, and I don't know if I showed you. I'm gonna go off camera for a second here. So, the original and a spare. Amazing that this boat came with a spare glass coffee pot for the coffee maker. Super cool. But at the end of the day, we're not using this. It's not staying in the boat. I don't need to take it out right now. Oh. But yeah, it's actually just plugged in the back. How about that? God, I wish I knew somebody who wanted this. I'd give it to them with two glass coffee pots. That's kind of cool. It is kind of cool. Well, this is where I get stuck in my thought process. I'm like, I shouldn't throw away something that works. I hate doing that. I figure somebody out there might want this. It's not even corroded on the back or anything. There's one little bit of surface rust. That is amazing. I mean, I guess it's mostly plastic, so obviously the face has yellowed, but that's a good coffee maker. Well, it's not in the sense that it's never going to produce good coffee, but you know what I mean. Like, for what it is, it's kind of impressive. All right, but I think in terms of cleaning the boat up, we just have to get some stuff going on here. I would honestly be pretty comfortable with being done right now. I think some of you, if you've seen the videos, we're trying to get down to like a 10-minute format. It seems to be, people don't really watch more than 10 minutes unless they're super into it. And for those of you who watch entire videos, God bless. Because I know sometimes I talk too much. So thank you for those people who are doing that. That is a huge help to the channel. All right, so we'll do part 2. I'm going to take the microwave out as well. Why is that so heavy? Oh my goodness. why did they cut a hole in the liner? This is really interesting. Let me make sure my hands are clean before I touch the camera. Camera's worth more than the boat. Maybe not quite, but yeah, let me see if I can show you. Ooh, not that guy. You don't want to see that. So, look at that. That's kind of interesting. That's the liner right there. They cut a hole in it, obviously to run a cable, but the cable's coming through there. So why? And I'm assuming that was to fish something. You kind of see it down here too. So if I pull on that, that's what's making that move. And that blue and white, is that blue and white stuff speaker cable? I don't know if it is. Yeah, so this is kind of interesting. Let me grab a light for you so you can kind of see more of what's going on up there. I think that's a huge cutout in there. I wonder if that was always like that. If it was, it seems like kind of a weird design. That one is round and makes sense. Yeah, very interesting. And there's a bit of foam back there as well. Very interesting. Yeah, and you see that's this same liner, same style. Yeah. It's hot. The breeze isn't quite doing what I need it to do. There's a little bit of a breeze around my legs and nothing up high, so I am drenched. So that's kind of interesting. All right, so we've got the burner out, we've got the coffee pot out, we've got the microwave out. I cannot get this fridge out. I thought the fridge was going to be the easiest thing. I thought it would just, maybe have a hook in the back, like an anti-tip hook, like you have on your oven at home. When you slide it in, one of the feet slides into a little thing so that when you open the door, it's impossible for the oven to tip over. So I thought it might be something like that, but I've moved it every way that I can at the moment, and I'm not getting a result. So, 1, 2, 3. I think this is going to take 3 trips to the end of the pier because I don't have a dock cart with me. That is something we need to get, though. If you've got a recommendation for a dock cart that you like, that maybe is sort of collapsible, foldable, or something, stick it in the comments below so that I can see what you all are using for a dock cart. We definitely need something. Where I grew up, there were dock carts provided by the marina. They were big too, super big, super heavy. Nobody was going to steal them. But this marina doesn't provide any, and we don't have one on the boat, so not something I wanted to spend money on up to this point. But now that I think we're going to be moving stuff back and forth along the pier, I think it's time we get one. In there. Oh, a bunch of paper plates. Oh, there you go. All right. I think I'm going to start moving this stuff, and unfortunately I think I need both hands, and I don't have like a chest rig or anything for the camera, so the Camera might be getting turned off, put in my pocket, and maybe you can walk with me as I come back from the dump. But I don't think you can walk with me all the way up there. So, and I'm going to close this hatch now before I forget that it's open, because I've done that before, and it's not funny. There we go. Jiminy Cricket. Yeah, it's already a little bit of a sprinkle. The dumpster's right there. I borrowed somebody's cart. Now it is now it's a little bit of a race. Can we get to the dumpster, get this stuff out, and get back to my car, which is a couple hundred meters behind me, before it really starts coming down. And I can tell you, this is going to be a Florida summer afternoon rain. It's going to come down pretty hard. All right, I need both hands for this, so you guys got to go. Bye. All righty. There's no amount of digital Steadicam programming that's going to adjust for the fact that I'm walking as fast as I can. It's it's already at my back. The rain is here. We got to put the dock cart back in place. All right, off to the car.